Imagine a nation that ruled a landmass bigger than some countries. An empire that stopped entire armies in their tracks, crushed rival tribes, and struck fear into the heart of the frontier for over 200 years. They were the undisputed lords of the plains, and for generations, no one dared to face them. This is the story of why the world feared the Comanche. Our story begins on the Great Plains, a vast, windswept world of endless grass, colossal storms, and a horizon that never seemed to end. For most tribes, this unforgiving landscape was a constant challenge, but for the Comanche, it was more than just home. It was their destiny. Unlike many powerful nations in North America, the Comanche didn't rise to prominence overnight. Their power wasn't inherited. It was for hit. They became legends because they mastered one thing earlier and better than anyone else: the horse. When horses first arrived from Spain, the Comanche didn't just learn to ride them. They transformed riding into a terrifying art of war. By the early 1700s, they had become, without a doubt, the finest light cavalry on the entire planet. They were faster than any European army, more agile than any American troop, and far deadlier than any rival tribe. A Comanche warrior could hang completely off the side of a galloping horse, using its body as moving armor, while firing a volley of arrows with pinpoint accuracy. It was a sight that defied belief. Spanish soldiers who faced them wrote that they moved like ghosts. Texas Rangers described their charges as being like lightning, and settlers on the frontier simply called them unreachable. But the fear they inspired wasn't just about speed and skill. It came from their absolute mastery of strategy. The Comanche never fought on the enemy's terms. They fought on their own. They would strike with blinding speed, vanish into the vastness of the plains, and then reappear hundreds of miles away before their enemies even had time to prepare a defense. They didn't fight wars to conquer cities or build forts. They fought to control the one thing that truly mattered on the plains: land and the resources it provided. Over time, their territory, known as the Comanche, grew to encompass massive parts of what is now Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico, and Kansas. It was a domain so vast and so fiercely defended that Spain, Mexico, and even the United States all struggled, and often failed, to penetrate it. Armies sent against the Comanche frequently met with disaster. Columns of soldiers would march into the plains and simply disappear. Militia groups were ambushed and scattered to the wind. Major expeditions returned home broken and demoralized. The Comanche weren't invincible, but on their home turf, they were virtually unmatched. What made them truly formidable was their incredible ability to adapt. They would trade with Europeans, learning their ways, and then turn around and use European weapons against them with devastating effect. They studied their enemies' movements with keen eyes, learning their patterns, and then set up ambushes with surgical precision. Their lightning raids brought terror to frontier settlements, while their powerful counterattacks shattered invading forces. But behind this legend of fear was a complex and sophisticated nation. The Comanche were more than just warriors. They were skilled traders, savvy diplomats, expert hunters, and dedicated guardians of their land. Their society was held together by a strong structure of families, clans, and councils that maintained order and tradition. Their world wasn't built on terror for its own sake. It was built on the core principles of survival, honor, and a powerful sense of identity. Still, the tides of history are often unforgiving. By the late 1800s, the pillars of Comanche power began to crumble. Waves of disease, brought by outsiders, swept through their communities. Famine became a constant threat, and the relentless westward expansion of the United States began to erode their strength in a way no army ever could. The final, fatal blow was the systematic destruction of the buffalo herds. These great animals were the foundation of Comanche life, providing food, shelter, and spiritual sustenance. Commercial hunters, encouraged by the government, slaughtered them by the millions. Without the buffalo, even the greatest horsemen in the world could not sustain their way of life. The final battles took place in the 1870s. These weren't the glorious cavalry charges of the past. They were desperate struggles against starvation, the bitter cold of winter, and the slow, heartbreaking collapse of a world that had existed for centuries. Yet, the Comanche spirit did not disappear. It endured. it adapted. Today, their legacy remains a powerful testament to resilience, unparalleled skill, and a mastery of horsemanship that has never been equaled. And the fear they once inspired. It wasn't just fear of their military strength. It was the fear of facing warriors who were one with their environment, who understood the land better than anyone who dared to challenge them. The Comanche were more than just fighters. They were a nation shaped by the wind, raised by the horse, and forged by the unforgiving plains. A nation the frontier would never, ever forget. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more chapters from history. See you next time.